Continuing from the previous episode 810. How can it be? This second Qi family brother actually has a blood curse. Xiao Yan murmured in a low voice, an emotion of surprise poured into his heart. The so-called blood curse is a gift from the foreign evil race to some humans in the world. This kind of blood curse can greatly enhance the strength of the user, but once the blood curse is planted in the body, it undoubtedly means that this human is a foreign evil race. Serve, but it is a bit harsh to say, that is the seed of the alien evil race in the human body. Once this kind of seed is planted, I am afraid that it is extremely difficult to eradicate, and once it is implanted, I am afraid that it will be a part of the alien evil race in the future. Elements. It seems that the Xuanling royal family is more terrifying than I thought, not only having an affair with the Soul Clan's Solomon, but also seems to have something to do with the extraterritorial evil clan. Xiao Yan whispered, "Ha ha ha. Xiao Yan, go to hell." At this time, the strength of Qi Horan's two brothers has actually increased by a level, but their pupils are filled with endless bloodshots, and an extremely evil aura emerges from their bodies. The original strength of the two was only in the early stage of Qi Haoqing's 7-star Do Emperor, and Qi Horan in the middle stage of 7-star Do Emperor, but now the strength of the two has been abruptly improved by one level, which makes the pressure on Xiao Yan even more terrifying. How can the aura on these two humans be so evil? The fire beast of life and death naturally felt the evil aura on the two, and immediately spoke. "Human boy, I hope you can stop them for a while, otherwise I will fail to transcend the calamity, and I am afraid that both of us will fall here today." But after the blink of an eye, the fire beast of life and death calmed down. At critical moments, there is no time to think about things. No, the expressions of these two guys don't seem to know this thing. But the next moment, Xiao Yan felt a strange feeling again, and immediately opened his mouth. Soul power can perceive people's emotions, so Xiao Yan is sure that the two of them don't even know that this thing is the blood curse of the foreign evil clan. "What are you using? How could it have soared so much power in a short period of time?" Xiao Yan couldn't help asking aloud. "Ha ha ha. Xiao Yan, you will be afraid one day. Then I'll tell you mercifully. The thing we use is clearly a unique power in our Xuanling royal family. It is called Xuanian. Using this power can increase our power in a short time. The only side effect is that it will be weak for a period of time. It was used by Han Dao, but King Xuanling has his life, so he has to take your body back." Qi Horan did not shy away, as if Xiao Yan was already dead in the eyes of the two of them. The unique power of the Xuanling royal family? I see that the power is extremely evil. I'm afraid it's not from the Xuanling royal family. Xiao Yan saw that the two were arrogant and showed no signs of making a move, so he was not in a hurry. "Impossible. This is definitely the power of our Xuanling royal family." Qi Haoqing answered directly, but after Qi Haoqing finished speaking, his pupils turned blood red and bloody. "Haoqing, are you all right?" Qi Horan snorted coldly when he saw this, but he was carefully sensing the aura in his body. It seemed as Xiao Yan said, it was extremely evil. "I think the power on the two of you is most likely the power of the evil race from outside the realm. The evil aura on your body is too abhorrent." Xiao Yan seemed to want to confirm his guess, and immediately opened his mouth. "Impossible. Xiao Yan, stop talking nonsense. Although our Xuanling royal family is at odds with you burning incense pavilion, we will definitely not do such things as fornicating with foreigners." Qi Horan was furious when he heard this. "You won't, but that doesn't mean others won't. And in my opinion, you seem to be just victims." Xiao Yan continued. "Is it true?" Qi Horan heard the words, his eyes flickered with determination, just wanted to withdraw this power, but how did he expect the blood curse to suddenly cover their bodies in an instant? "Oh!" With Xiao Yan's voice, the second brother Qi Horan became strange. At first, the two of them just had their pupils flashing blood red, and the 5 blood threads symbolized the 5th-level blood curse. At this time, the blood curse filled their bodies. "Oh, don't!" The screams echoed in the molten world. The two brothers Qi Horan were in extreme pain, their hands tightly holding their foreheads, as if they were struggling violently. "Shoot, this must be a foreign evil clan." Seeing this, Xiao Yan did not hesitate, and suddenly gathered his offensive, preparing to attack the two. No matter what the two of them said, the matter of the extraterritorial evil race on their bodies must be clarified. And this time, his master Zhu Jin planned to save someone from the Xuanling royal family. If they didn't know the news, they would probably just throw themselves into the net. Damn! Just as Xiao Yan was about to make a move, the blood demon gold energy in his body that had calmed down suddenly became agitated, causing Xiao Yan's hard-to-condensed power to instantly turn to ashes. If you don't come sooner or later, why do you come at this time? Xiao Yan endured the outbreak of the blood demon's golden energy, and the two Qi Hao brothers could only ignore it for the time being. Holy flame! Suppress me! Xiao Yan knew that the blood demon gold in his body was no joke, so he didn't dare to neglect. He sat cross-legged directly, and then a dazzling holy flame force was facing the blood demon gold in his chest. Air pressure away. It's strange to say, this blood demon golden energy is good. How can it be so restless? However, Xiao Yan understood the next moment when he saw the second Qi Hao brothers. It seems that it is the power between the evil races outside the territory. The blood demon Jinky feels the blood curse in the two people has a change. Xiao Yan said, suppression. As Xiao Yan used holy flame again and again to suppress the blood demon gold qi in his body, the blood demon gold qi in Xiao Yan's body suddenly calmed down. Huh, the whole body has been suppressed. Xiao Yan was frightened. If the blood demon gold qi really broke out, I am afraid that with his current strength, he would not be able to deal with it, but fortunately, the blood demon gold qi was only attracted, and no real outbreak. These two guys. It seems that there is no help. After suppressing the blood demon gold energy in his body, Xiao Yan turned his attention to the two brothers in front of him. The two seem to have lost all their will at this time, and they have already been reduced to a machine that only knows how to kill. It's still a step too late. Xiao Yan shook his head. He knew that when he just suppressed the blood demon gold energy in his body, I am afraid that the last thoughts of these two brothers have been assimilated by the blood curse. Hee. These two guys, what are you going to know about those things? If you don't make good use of the 5th level blood curse, you have to know something else that you shouldn't know. Curiosity will kill the cat. Among the Xuanling royal family, Xuanling King said, Soul Clan, Solomon, you may never have imagined that all the cooperation between my Xuanling royal family and you is just to cover up that power. I hope that these two guys are worthwhile to die. It's better to die in the hands of the people in the Fenxiang pavilion. Ha ha ha. After Xuanlingcheng finished speaking, he laughed strangely, but on the body of King Xuanling, a blood curse that was exactly the same as the two brothers of the Qi family was looming. If you count it carefully, there are actually 7 paths. Continuing from the previous episode 811. What a powerful evil force. Xiao Yan stared at the Qi family brothers who had lost their vitality in front of them, and murmured. It was obvious that the strength of the two of them at the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor and the late stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, together with the extraterrestrial evil, the evil power of the clan has greatly increased the pressure on Xiao Yan. Kill! Qi Horan raised his head suddenly, staring at Xiao Yan with blood-filled eyes. A monstrous killing intent suddenly emerged. And the extremely dense black gas around him, like venom, just touched a trace of molten lava, and the lava actually disappeared instantly. It's a big game now. Xiao Yan felt bitter in his heart. Why did he always deal with evil races outside the realm? In order to obtain holy flames in the desert mountains before, I almost fell into the hands of the blood demons. Although I finally got holy flames, the golden energy of the blood demons also corrodes my body. I am afraid that this thing is not healed well. Now that I have encountered such a thing in the ruins, Xiao Yan wants to cry but has no tears. How long will it take? Xiao Yan asked the fire beast of life and death. It seems that I underestimated the terror of Lei Jia when you gave me 3 minutes. The fire beast of life and death also knew Xiao Yan's situation at this time, and immediately spoke directly. If Xiao Yan can help himself like this, the fire beast of life and death will naturally help Xiao Yan. Kill! As soon as Qi Horan's voice fell, the two brothers were like ghosts, with the venom-like aura of a foreign evil clan around them, roaring away towards Xiao Yan's location. No, the immortal body can't defend against these two attacks. Xiao Yan decided in an instant what to do, and immediately put away the immortal body. After all, this thing is related to the next holy flame. If it is attacked by foreign evil, if the family is polluted, Xiao Yan will cry without tears. Fire Heart Tianyan, come out for me. At the next moment, Xiao Yan couldn't care too much. On top of his hand, he grabbed the fiery red holy flame crystal, and an incomparably holy aura emerged immediately. The source of the holy flame came out, and the molten lava in this lava world seemed to make a very cheerful sound, as if the minister was calling his king to come back. Defend. At the next moment, Xiaoyan didn't dare to relax, so he had to condense the holy flame in his hand into a huge wall of khaki flames, trying to defend against the attack of the second brothers of the Qi family. Boom boom boom. Qi Horan and Qi Haoqing's pupils were full of bloodshots. Without any other fluctuations, they patted Xiaoyan with a blank expression. Gulu. The two extremely terrifying evil powers instantly entangled Xiaoyan, and then Xiaoyan's complexion changed. He could clearly feel that although Sheng Yan could isolate the evil power to a great extent, his current self after all, it is too weak, and the control of the holy flame has not yet reached the level of perfection. Wang Chen is angry. The Emperor's seal, Lotus of Silence. Xiaoyan continuously displayed his attacking methods in an attempt to reduce the power of evil. Otherwise, if this continued, the only person who would be injured in the end would be himself. Boom boom boom. Xiaoyan's attack touched the evil power of the two brothers, and it was instantly extinguished like fire meets water, and traces of white smoke floated up. Of course, what was extinguished was a trace of evil power in the second brothers of the Qi family. My flames have a strong restraint on the evil races outside the territory. Xiaoyan was overjoyed when he saw this. After all, Xiaoyan possessed genuine holy flames, so he was not too surprised by this. Kill. It seemed that Xiaoyan not only used huge flames for defense, but also attacked the two of them. Immediately, the evil blood in his eyes soared. I'm afraid these two guys don't even know that the blood curse can kill people. Seeing this, Xiaoyan's heart flickered with a hint of solemnity. The two people in front of him were obviously beyond the scope of what he could deal with. During the battle in the lava world, the crowd above the swamp area immediately became impatient and wanted to go down and have a look. Everyone, listen to me. I know that everyone is anxious about life and death area Yiquan. Shit has not yet been resolved by the Guardian, and it is obviously not the time to enter. But if you are in a hurry, we can let the powerhouses who are stronger than the late 6-star Do Emperor go down and find out. As for the danger, it depends on their own strength. Song Yu saw that everyone above the swamp area was restless, and he knew it immediately. I'm afraid I can't stop them from going down now. But although it can't stop them from going down, it can reduce a lot of people going down. On the one hand, there is almost no chance for the weak to enter the second Yiquan of life and death, and going down will only add trouble, so Song Yu has the present record. In the late stage of the 6-star Do D, I'll see it. If you are too weak, you will probably die. Only the powerhouses in the late stage of the 6-star Do D can go down. This is reluctant, some of the gathered powerhouses said immediately. Since that's the case, then all the strong people who meet the standard should go. Song Yu smiled slowly when he heard the words. Let's go. When everyone heard the words, they nodded, and then turned towards the swamp. Among the crowd, only those who knew Xiaoyan were Wudu, Linju, Xinglong, Zhaobi and Mu Yingying, and Song Yu and Feng Hong and the others. They flew directly towards the swamp. Go, and at this time, in the molten world under the swamp, the battle has entered a white-hot stage. The labor and management really don't believe that your mere 5th-class blood curse can keep me here. Xiaoyan gasped heavily. Obviously the strength of the two in front of him caused Xiaoyan to suffer. A little confused. Susu, I didn't expect you to be such a tenacious human being. Why don't you consider joining us? Make sure you have whatever you want. Qi Horan said suddenly. However, Xiaoyan did not feel any joy about this, because at this time, the second brothers of the Qi family had already been completely eroded by the aura of the extraterrestrial evil clan and turned into a member of the extraterritorial evil clan, not human beings. Extraterritorial evil clan, just a bunch of dirty guys. Xiaoyan smiled lightly when he heard this. Although it is taboo to have the two powerhouses in front of him, Xiaoyan felt that the Soul Eater talisman in his body seemed to be vibrating from the moment when the two had just changed, as if something attracted them. Boy, since you're obsessed with it, you can't blame us. We will let you have a satisfactory death wish. Qi Horan's voice just fell, and suddenly the incomparably evil power attacked Xiaoyan, and Xiaoyan also realized that the power of this power is definitely not something that he can touch now. So don't hesitate, Just when I was about to escape from here, the Soul Eater talisman in Xiaoyan's body was suddenly not under Xiaoyan's control, and broke free and appeared in this space. At this time, the fire beasts of life and death are concentrating on the calamity. Naturally, they have no time to pay attention to Xiaoyan, but the two Qi brothers don't care about it at all. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 812. Soul-devouring talisman? Xiaoyan saw the appearance of this extremely mysterious thing, said to be one of the best treasures in the ghost world, and immediately hesitated, not knowing what the purpose of this thing was at this time. However, he felt vaguely uneasy. The evil power contained in this soul-devouring talisman was probably more terrifying than the two on them. Soul Eater talisman? Seeing the evil power of the two Qi Horan brothers who were still laughing, he snorted coldly, and then stared straight at the mysterious rune in Xiaoyan's palm. The mystery of the Soul Eater 3 is more evil than the evil power in them. Why? Do you recognize this thing? Xiaoyan asked immediately when he saw the evil power on Qi Horan's body, exclaiming, "Boy, you give me this. No matter what you need, I can give it to you." Qi Horan's evil power controlled Qi to speak immediately. "For you? Okay." Xiaoyan heard this and smiled, as if a smirk slowly sounded in his heart. This Soul Eater talisman has already recognized Xiaoyan as the master. Unless Xiaoyan takes the initiative to release this binding, or Xiaoyan falls, others will not be able to use this thing. Therefore, when this evil force speaks, Xiaoyan does not wait at all. Hesitantly, he said directly, "Give it to me." Xiaoyan saw Qi Horan's pupils staring at the mysterious and evil Soul Eater talisman on Xiaoyan's palm, in indescribable greed. Here, seeing this, Xiaoyan smiled slightly, and suddenly threw the Soul Eater talisman in his hand towards Qi Horan. "Ha ha ha, Soul Eater talisman, I finally got you. From now on, I will be the 9th 5 in the ghost world, and any strong person must respect me." Ha ha ha. Qi Horan's terrifying smile echoed in the entire molten world. As for Qi Haoking beside him, he stared at Qi Horan blankly. That is, Qi Horan? What is he doing? What is that thing in his hand? Not long after, the crowd that entered came slowly to the edge of the swamp, the top of the molten world. It's too early to be happy. Because Xiaoyan was concentrating on dealing with the evil power of the evil race outside the realm, he didn't notice the crowd that had already appeared. Following Xiaoyan's voice, a force from Xiaoyan rushed towards Qi Horan, but the target was the Soul Eater talisman in his hand. The Soul Eater talisman in Qi Horan's hand was controlled by Xiaoyan, and it suddenly transformed into a very strange black gas. With a whistling sound, it devoured Qi Horan directly. The breath completely disappeared. Obviously it has fallen, not even the scum is left. "No, no, you can't devour me. I am your master." Before Qi Horan could finish his words, he was immediately swallowed up by the Soul Eater talisman. On the other hand, Qi Haoking, with fear in his eyes, fled desperately towards the swamp area, trying to stay away from Xiaoyan, the murderous devil. "It's your turn." As the soul-devouring talisman devoured Qi Horan's strength was as powerful as the late stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, and all the scum that was swallowed by the soul-devouring talisman was not left, and then he held the black soul-devouring talisman. Chase away towards Qi Haoking. However, the Soul Eater talisman devoured Qi Horan and dispersed some evil power into Xiaoyan's body. The evil power was immediately absorbed by the blood demon's golden energy, which affected Xiaoyan's perception. And just in the molten world, when one person chasing another person dramatically appeared, some of the powerhouses at the top of the molten lava couldn't help but murmured, "This Xiaoyan actually dare to kill someone from the Xuanling royal family?" After the strong man finished speaking, his face was full of disbelief. But the truth is in front of you. Just when they came to the molten world, they clearly saw that Qi Horan seemed to be crazy, and then Xiaoyan displayed a black power, and all the scum that Qi Horan was killed was not left. It's troublesome now. Xiao came back to his senses, and seemed to have found those strong men in the sky, and immediately snorted inwardly. "Well, Xiaoyan, you dare to kill the disciples of the Xuanling royal family. Now I think you jumped into the Yellow River and can't wash it." A familiar figure spoke slowly in the crowd. This person is Xu Guang. Xu Guang had been hiding in the crowd because he was seriously injured before, but now he saw what Xiao Yan had done and immediately stood up. Xiao Yan killed his own follower. This matter can be big or small. With Xu Guang's temperament, it is natural to know that Ming Zhao can't do it for the sake of a small follower and Xiao Yan, but Qi Horan was killed by Xiao Yan. This is different. Who is Qi Horan? Qi Horan can be said to be the most gifted and powerful disciple in the Xuanling royal family. Boom boom boom. Xiao Yan, you should wait for the sanctions of the Xuanling royal family. After Xu Guang finished speaking, he swept out of the molten world. With his current strength, I am afraid that the ruins will not be able to benefit, so now the only way is to use this news told the Xuanling royal family that someone would come to clean up Xiao Yan at that time. Xiao Yan, he actually killed Qi Horan. Although Shu Qi was extremely surprised, Qi Horan was a real powerhouse in the middle stage of the 7-star Do Di, and Shu Qi himself had no certainty of victory. Killed. The Xuanling royal family will definitely not give up. This is trouble. Qin Xin saw this and understood the importance of the matter, so she said slowly in a low voice. The relationship between the Fenxiang Pavilion and the Xuanling royal family was like water and fire. Alas, it seems that Xiao Yan's fate had this fate. Seeing this, Song Yu shook his head involuntarily. Before Xiao Yan gave them medicinal pills to help his lover relieve the pain, Song Yu had a good impression of him. It seems that the Fenxiang Pavilion is in big trouble. The 5 poisons also said slightly, and the most senior sect disciples like them naturally know what a talented eldest disciple means to the sect. UU reading link to www.youcanshu.com. I don't care. Seeing this, Xiao Yan didn't hesitate, put away the Soul Eater talisman, straightened his breath, and flew up slightly towards Mu Yingying and her party. Xiao Yan's figure just came to the top of the molten world, and everyone suddenly took a step back. Are you all right? Mu Yingying didn't care about other things, she only cared about Xiao Yan's safety. It's fine, Xiao Yan replied softly. It's fine, nothing else, let's go back and talk about other things. Seeing that Xiao Yan was hesitating to speak, Shu Qi said directly. Everyone, we are here just to enter the spring of life and death. As for other things, Shu Qi snorted coldly, and then the killing intent emerged from the sky. Seeing this, the other powerhouses took a step back, but Xiao Yan knew that these people were excellent disciples of some sects. Forget it. Let's take one step at a time. Xiao Yan shook his head slightly. Obviously there was nothing he could do about the pitiful soul-devouring talisman. Just when Xiao Yan killed Qi Horan slowly subsided, in the molten world, a huge body suddenly stirred violently. The Guardian has successfully survived the calamity. Song Yu said slowly with an extremely ugly expression on his face. Ask for tickets. Today's 6. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 813. The Guardian has successfully crossed the calamity. As Song Yu's voice just fell, suddenly in the molten world, a behemoth slowly emerged from the molten world. Still a fire beast of life and death. It's just that the fire beast of life and death at this time has already undergone obvious changes on its body, and has successfully survived the calamity. Some rare earth yellow flames faintly appeared in the body, and this flame clearly has a trace of holy the smell of fire. The current life and death fire beasts are undoubtedly many times stronger than before the calamity. Ho ho ho! The fire beast of life and death just appeared, and suddenly raised its head to the sky with a long roar. The deafening sound made many strong men feel a burst of fear. The next moment, many strong people felt an extremely powerful suppression. Boom boom boom! Life and Death Fire Beast glanced at Xiao Yan casually, as if he knew where Xiao Yan was and couldn't mess with him, but he turned his eyes towards other people. His eyes were extremely fierce. After all, Xiao Yan had already agreed with it before that these people were Xiao Yan's companions. As for the others, it didn't matter how they attacked Xiao Yan. 8-star Do Di level magical beast. Song Yu frowned immediately upon seeing this. Obviously, this guardian's current strength is too terrifying, and I'm afraid it won't help to unite with everyone here. Get out, otherwise, die. After the fire beast of life and death finished speaking, it spit out a breath, covering Xiao Yan and his party, and then without hesitation, the breath directly sent everyone into the molten world. Asshole! I don't know who said something, and his eyes suddenly turned red. Now, I am afraid that the stupid people know that the breakthrough of the Guardian just now should be related to Xiao Yan, so now the Guardian has broken through, naturally, in order to repay Xiaoyan's kindness, and send them directly to the spring of life and death. Let's start together. It is absolutely impossible to let Xiaoyan and the others succeed. It seemed that they did not give up, and then many strong men said in their hearts. Boom, boom, boom. With the simultaneous action of many strong men, the terrifying energy of life immediately gathered into an extremely dazzling beam of light, attacking the fire beast of life and death. Humph! Although the fire beast of life and death has just broken through, its internal strength is a little weak, but it is too ridiculous if he can't even handle these little shrimps with his current strength at the level of a dignified 8-star fighting emperor. With the sound of the fire beast of life and death, the molten slurry tumbled violently, and in a short period of time, it converged into a ferocious beast. The light group of the power of life. No, go back. Song Yu was not reconciled at first. After all, the temptation of Yiquan of life and death was too great, so those who were lucky still remained here. However, when the fire beasts of life and death started to fire, Song Yu knew that his group had no chance at all. Since there is no relationship between life and death, Yiquan. Let's go! Song Yu took the brunt of the brunt and gave a direct whistle. Then, without stopping, he rolled up his red jade hand and pulled it to run out. No, it's too strong. Seeing this, the 5 poisons could not help but snorted coldly, and immediately exited the place with Lin Zhu. As for the other Feng Hong, Du Chun and Xing Taki all looked at each other and immediately retreated. Go out, bad luck. The other powerhouses watched the strongest ones withdraw one after another, and immediately looked at the rapidly collapsing light group of life force being attacked by the fire beasts of life and death. A group of cowards. Seeing this, the fire beasts of life and death opened their mouths slightly. But now calm down. The fire beast of life and death has already broken through the 8-star Do Di. Now it obviously needs to rest. As for Xiaoyan and the others, they have already headed towards the spring of life and death. Whether they can succeed in the end depends on their fortunes. Xiaoyan, you just... Shu Qi and his group walked towards the airy spring of life and death, and then Shu Qi couldn't help but said. Xiaoyan's action to kill Qi Horan just now was clearly seen by those present. Alas! Xiaoyan heard the words and immediately knew the seriousness of this matter, and immediately shook his head slightly. If he killed the little shrimp like in the Ming sect, it would be fine, but if he killed such an important disciple of the Xuanling royal family, I am afraid that the Xuanling royal family would not give up, and because of their relationship with the Xuanling royal family, I am afraid that the Xuanling royal family will take advantage of this. At that time, I am afraid that Xiaoyan's talent will be abnormal, and the Fenxiang Pavilion will not be able to protect him. I believe in you. Just when a few people were wondering, Yu Ru and Mu Yingying both cast a firm look at Xiaoyan. What happened just now is indeed as you can see. Qi Horan wanted to kill it, but the Xuanling royal family seems to be related to the foreign evil clan, so the killing just now was completely manslaughter, because I have someone who can deal with the foreign evil clan in my hands. So just now that thing broke free from my shackles and directly killed Qi Horan. Otherwise, with my current strength, it would still be difficult to kill Qi Horan in seconds. Xiaoyan explained, the Xuanling royal family is actually related to the foreign evil clan? Shu Qi heard the words, her eyes slightly wrinkled. She knew that the 4 characters of the foreign evil clan were terrifying in the entire Great Thousand World. In the Daqin world, many places have been eroded by the foreign evil clan, so no matter who they are, they can be regarded as extremely resentful towards the foreign evil clan, so if any force secretly colludes with the foreign evil clan, it will undoubtedly be regarded by the people of Daqin world. Fight for the enemy. I don't know, but Qi Horan and Qi Haoqing have the aura of a foreign evil clan at a real price, and the strength of the 2 of them has also skyrocketed under the influence of the foreign evil clan's breath. I originally wanted to catch them and investigate, but Qi Haoqing escaped. Xiaoyan said regretfully, it seems that this matter is too serious, you must be careful. As soon as the matter is over, report to the respective sects immediately. This kind of thing is beyond the scope of what we can solve. Shu Qi said solemnly, evil clan from outside the realm. Qin Xin heard the words, a trace of resentment flashed in her eyes. Obviously every time she heard these words, Qin Xin felt uncomfortable. After the ruins incident this time, I'm afraid the situation of Zhan Santian will change. Leng Fuyao seemed to know something. Let's take a step by step. If the Xuanling royal family really wants to do something to me Xiao Yan for Qi Horan, then even if I die, I have to nibble off a big piece of meat from the Xuanling royal family. Xiao Yan smiled in disbelief. He said with a smile, but everyone knew the firmness in his voice. Don't worry, there are us too. Mu Feng heard Xiao Yan's voice and put his hand on his shoulder. Mu Yingying and Qin Shin also laughed. Let's go. Below is the entrance to the spring of life and death. Xiao Yan's heart flickered with a hint of warmth, and then he slowly walked down. Ask for tickets. Today, my friend was sick and accompany him to the hospital, when he missed the time. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 814. Is that the entrance? Leng Fuyao's outstanding soul power instantly sensed a ray of light emerging from the lava, and immediately opened his mouth. In the molten world, a door of light with a special light appeared, and then everyone passed through the door of light, and seemed to vaguely feel something from it. It's where. Xiao Yan heard the words and immediately agreed. According to what the fire beast of life and death told him, adding Xiao Yan's perception, it was basically certain that it was the entrance. Go in and have a look? Mu Feng looked at the gate of light and said with some expectation but some hesitation. Although there are many mysterious things in Yiquan of life and death, they are also very dangerous. Everyone, be careful after entering. Xiao Yan exhorted. Yes. Everyone agreed, and then they all swept towards the light mouth, and as Xiao Yan and his group entered, some changes took place in the two Yiquan of life and death. Hee, someone is here. In the spring of life and death, next to a stone table, a young man spoke slowly. Vicious old monster, this time you won't want to eat girls again, will you? On the stone table is a mouse. The rat's body is silver and white, but its claws are extremely sharp, but the strength of this rat seems to be extremely terrifying. And the young man, dressed in a very elegant clothes, looks like a scholar. Little Yin, what did you say? Am I that kind of person? The young man known as the vicious old monster rolled his eyes at the mouse lying on the stone table and said, Vicious old monsters, life and death, youth and easy aging, these are all common occurrences. If you do this, you will be punished by God, and we will not be able to help you at that time. And now, other monsters have been summoned by the guy in Guanggan Island. Now it's me and you. If something happens to you, I'm afraid no one in Guanggan Island will easily forgive you. The little silver mouse is quite proud. Road. Okay, since some people are here, let's go meet them together. We have not been here for a long time since we were born and died, said the vicious old monster. Humph. What asterisk life and death Yiquan. This place is a pool of stagnant water. It's useless after so many years. The little silver mouse said with disdain, and then climbed onto the vicious old monster. The two figures slowly disappear. However, the vicious old monster said, This spring of life and death is just damaged, otherwise you thought it would be so desolate. After speaking, he casually glanced here before slowly disappearing. Arrived? Xiao Yan and his group entered another dimension directly through the door of light in the molten world. This place is really evil. The ruins were originally a special space, and the Yiquan of life and death is a separate space. This handwriting. Mu Feng couldn't help but said, If you want to create space in space, this kind of strength is definitely not the battle of immortals. This place is so desolate. Mu Yingying spoke directly after entering the spring of life and death. At the same time, what caught everyone's eyes was a concentric circular island. The place where everyone is standing is astonishingly cut off like a cross-section, and looking down, it is clearly a huge basin. In the basin, there are only two roundabouts. The circular roundabout is divided into two parts, the inner and outer parts. The inner roundabout is located in the middle, and there is a stone table made of stone. In the middle of the two round islands, there are many strange springs flowing, but Xiao Yan did not feel any difference from the springs. Is this the spring of life and death? Could I have gone wrong? Mu Feng also said after a round of induction, because this place is really too desolate, and it doesn't look like the strange life and death Yiquan should have. Let's go and have a look first. Seeming to have made a decision, Xiao Yan spoke slowly. Be careful, there should be a vicious old monster here, that guy is the strongest among the three old monsters. Because this is where he lives. Yueru said suddenly vigilantly, There are still people living in this place where birds don't poop? Mu Feng laughed in disbelief when he heard this. However, This cannot be blamed on Mu Feng. In fact, there is nothing else here other than two concentric circular islands, so it would be unrealistic for some people to live here. In my opinion, the spring in the middle of the island is the legendary spring of life and death, but why can't I see it? Mu Feng was close to the spring before he spoke slowly. These springs are too ordinary, and it is impossible for us to evolve the energy of life in our bodies. After a while, Leng Fuyao also said, could it be that he was deceived by the fire beast of life and death? Xiao Yan was also somewhat confused, and immediately muttered to himself. Don't look at it. This should be the real life and death airy spring. As for why this spring is like this, I also want to ask a few people. Just when everyone was at a loss, a calm voice suddenly sounded in front of everyone. What caught everyone's eyes was a young talent with good looks and good looks. Who is this guy? With the appearance of the man, Xiao Yan and his group were instantly vigilant. The fact that this guy can appear here quietly, no doubt shows that his strength is very strong. Moreover, Xiao Yan was sure that the people outside had been chased away by the fire beasts of life and death, so there is probably only one person here now. Vicious old monster. But the hated old monster is so old. How come this vicious old monster is so young? Are you a vicious old monster? The inheritance rune on Yuru's forehead radiated a little light, and then Yueru seemed to know something and said, Fairy Moon Fairy's inheritance rune, it's really a lucky guy. Although owning this thing doesn't necessarily mean the inheritance of Fairy Moon, but there is always a chance to try it. I think I almost lost my life in order to get this thing, although I failed in the end. Vicious old monster. It is not surprising that she recognized herself at a glance when facing Yueru. After all, the latter is a human who was planted by Fairy Moonlight to inherit the rune. If she can even sense this, it can only mean Fairy Moonlight is short-sighted. Looking at the exchange between Yueru and the vicious old monster for a short time, Xiao Yan and everyone could feel a terrifying pressure from the vicious old monster. How many of you came to the spring of life and death, right? Without Xiao Yan and the others speaking, the vicious old monster turned around and looked at the calm and colorless spring water channel around the island. Exactly. Shu Qi stood up immediately, because she knew the strength of the vicious old monster, so she had to come out. But I'm sorry to tell you. Life and death, Yiquan will not be borrowed, and you will also become fertile nourishment for my eternal youth. Ha ha ha. After the vicious old monster finished speaking, a deafening laughter slowly reverberated in the entire spring of life and death. It's fifth watch today. I have something to do. End of this chapter.